Hello, JD.
Good morning, Chief. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I think this is an opportunity for you and me to talk about something that's happening here that I think is pretty important for the practicing bar and for the court system. You know, we've spent the last several years talking about e-filing and maybe, making it a voluntary thing. And really it has since we've been doing that since 2015. And what we have discovered is that despite the fear of some of us who, years ago included ourselves in the dinosaur caucus, we're finding that the practicing bar has embraced this idea of e-filing on a voluntary basis. We've had over 4 million electronic filings. And we're seeing a significant number of e-filings in certain case types, just overwhelmingly. So the court, with the recommendation of the folks at AOC who work with this, has decided that now's the time for us to really begin the process of mandatory e-filing. And so, we thought it would be a good chance for me and for you as the president of the bar to talk about this. So that's why we're talking today.
And I think that's been a great initiative, Chief. And I know when you became, the Chief Justice of the Kentucky Supreme Court, that was one of your mission and goals, was to kind of bring us up in the digital age and advance electronic filings in the system. And I want to commend you for your leadership in doing that and leading us to the point where we are today, where we are beginning phasing in some mandatory electronic filing in these foreclosure cases and credit card cases. And I think the last 2 years with the pandemic has really maybe advanced the whole legal system in the technology area. And I know we've got a lot of initiatives that we had to put on the back burner, others that we've kind of accelerated to get us through the pandemic to keep the courts open and operating. And this is just another example of your and the AOC's attempt to advance the legal profession and provide electronic filing.
Well, I know that from the practicing bar standpoint, it's moved at a glacial pace, and most members of the bar would say that we would like to see more happen more quickly, and I would too. See, all we're doing is mandating what was already the market was doing, because most of the firms that were filing foreclosures were doing it electronically. Most of the firms that were filing credit card collections were already doing it. So we're just saying, okay, well, we're all going to do it. And this is a good place for us to start. But I'm making the further commitment that the court system is going to respond accordingly. We need to lead by example. And so all of the master commissioners are going to be expected to operate, respond electronically to electronic filing. So that should speed up the process for all concerned. And so I want to make that commitment to the bar, that you're going to find waiting for you a system that's able to handle your electronic filing and is going to respond electronically.
I can tell you from my own personal experience in 2015, when we began the voluntary process, first of all, nobody likes change, especially attorneys. We prefer the dinosaur age and paper filing and papers, and that's why you can't see my desk right now, because it's completely covered in papers. But electronic is the way to go. I know the federal system moved to the mandatory electronic case filing in all their matters, but that's a different system. There's not as many different cases, so it hasn't been as easy. And I want to make sure the practitioners know that. But this change is great. I think in my own personal experience, I used to do a lot of cases throughout the state where I would do specialized hearings. So I'm based in Owensboro, and I would be filing cases in Pikeville. And before the e-filing opportunity, I would have to wait sometimes a week before the mails would get my paperwork to the court. And then it would take a little bit of time to get processed and get back. But the mandatory e-filing just seems to make everything run a whole lot smoother. From a practitioner standpoint, I know it did for me in those types of cases. It's more efficient It's more accurate. I think the clerks have all been responsive to accepting these types of filing, especially in the credit card and foreclosure area. I think it's just better service to our clients, and I appreciate that. Speaking from my own personal perspective, and I know there's benefits to everyone of having a record. It has been nice to go to court with a tablet and be able to log into the e-filing system and bring up all the pleadings that have been filed in case I need to refer back to one of them, rather than having all the papers scattered in front of me in front of at the council table or at the podium before the judge. So, and I know it also the serving on the e-courts committee, which I appreciate you appointing me to. I know that it helps the courts internally to track matters a lot better, so we can make sure that the AOC is providing a better service. And like I said before, we're in a digital area now, and we want to start moving, in that direction. And I applaud that. I applaud the court for taking that step and moving forward. Chief, what does the future of e-filing hold? What are the court's plans for the future? What do you think we can see maybe coming down the pipe?
We're really working hard to try to get CourtNet 3 completed by the end of this year, and that's what needs to happen in order for us to be able to be so that you can file your brief with the appellate court. The appellate court is open 24/7 in terms of filing. And also, I know you haven't said this, but I'll say this, that you have members of the bar maybe that have been reticent, resistant, but certainly the bench has been resistant. Trial judges are resistant. And it's important that the trial judges be willing to enter orders electronically so that you have a seamless record. And we really I'm encouraging that. This year is an election year, so we're going to be electing lots of new judges. And one of the items on the curriculum for the new judges school in December of this year will be how important it is for you to learn how to operate this system so that J.D. Meyer in Owensboro doesn't have to wait for the U.S. mail to deliver that order that you've entered a week ago. If you enter that order electronically, JD gets it instantaneously. That's the kind of service that you need to be able to expect from the court system. And I want us to be able to do that.
And we appreciate that. And I know there are several judges who already do that voluntarily, like us, the other attorneys, right. And it is very nice. So we appreciate the court's efforts in getting judges to kind of join the bandwagon too. Well, there's a lot of changes on the front, and we will look forward to seeing those roll out. And certainly, Chief, we appreciate your leadership throughout this whole process.
Well, it's what we need to be doing. But thank you, JD.
To get started with e-filing, visit ehelp.kycourts.net. Under Attorneys and Legal Staff, click How do I get certified to e-file? Register for online training or live virtual training with an instructor.